Children, let us begin with the line-by-line explanation of the poem Keeping Quiet. As and when I am explaining, please jot down the notes and the meanings of the words and phrases that I am giving you. Let us begin. Children, yesterday I told you that the poem, it begins with an exercise in meditation. The poet is making an appeal to the readers that take a deep breath, count till 12 and then fall silent. Let us read. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. So the poet is asking the readers that they should count to 12. Children, when you are engaging yourself in meditation, or even when you are indulging in yoga, you take a deep breath and then you hold on your breath, you count till 12 and then exhale. So this is the exercise that the poet asks the readers to begin with. So this is an exercise in meditation, and we will all keep still. And then he says that let's not move, let there be no fidgeting. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Now, what does he say? That different people, they take different amount of time to fall silent. The count of 12, children, it accommodates all. Okay, so the poet is looking at mankind as one. So he's making an appeal to the human race that let us all count till 12, because this count of 12 accommodates all. Now 12, children, it also indicates the hours of the clock. The poet begins the session keeping quiet with calm, with a calm mind. He forgets the differences and he makes an appeal that let there be peace, peaceful breathing. This exercise is what he is starting with. For once, here again the poet is making an appeal to keep quiet, that for once let us all be quiet. He wants the people to stop their progressive and forward going nature. Okay, for once on the face of earth, let's not speak in any language. Now let all the differences get wiped out. Let's not speak in different languages. Languages, it creates barriers. What does he say? That speak the language of silence instead. Don't speak in the different languages. Instead, speak the language of silence. And why does he also ask all of us to keep still? Still means without any movement. Now, movement over here, children, the literal meaning is forward movement, but the metaphorical meaning, please write it down. Children, the first two lines and the second stanza, I am explaining them in context. So both of them I am taking up together. So please be very careful while I am explaining here. Try to follow what I am trying to say. So for once, the poet is making an appeal to keep quiet, and he wants the people to keep still. Still over here, the literal meaning means that do not move or do not fidget. Here, the metaphorical meaning is that he wants the people to stop their progressive and forward going nature. Okay, the poet says that people have to stop their progressive and forward going nature. And he says that let us not speak in different languages, as language creates barriers. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Let's stop the mad race. Yesterday I had explained it to you, children, the mad rat race. We are all trapped in a mad rat race. So what is this mad race for? It is a rush for achievement. So we need to take the break, the thoughtless hub of constant activity and competition. We have to take a break from this thoughtless hub of constant activity and competition. I told you that we all have only one motto, just one aim: amassing wealth and reaching the top, fulfilling our goal. As a result, what are we doing? We are becoming selfish, we are inconsiderate towards the others, and there is cutthroat competition. So let us break this thoughtless and impulsive action at our parts. At our part, let us stop it. I hope there is no doubt till here. For once on the face of earth, let us not speak in any language, as language creates barriers. Instead, let us all be silent, observe silence. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So what is the poet saying? That let's stop this mad rat race. Let's stop this. And we need to take a break from this fever and fret of the modern life. And let's not move our arms so much. Arms over here, children, could mean, our arms, our hands. The literal meaning could be arms, and there is another meaning here which could mean the weapons. So the poet is again making a request to mankind that let us not engage in destructive activities or in any kind of warfare which involves the weapons. Okay, he is asking us to maintain peace. Let peace reign, and let people not move or fidget, and let there be no war. So this is the humble appeal that the poet is making. For once, let us try this for once. For a change, let us try this. It would be an exotic moment. Without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Now, exotic over here, children, means fantastic, fascinating, magnificent. So these are all the synonyms that I am using for exotic, children. The poet says that when people will be considerate towards others, when there will be peace, when there will be no war, people will not engage themselves in the mad rat race, there will be time for each other, for themselves. That moment would be exotic, it would be fantastic, it would be fascinating, it would be magnificent. Without rush, without engines. Now without rush over here means there will be no mad race for success. Please write it down. Without rush, people will not be in a hurry. This is the literal meaning, and the metaphorical meaning or the hidden meaning is that there will be no mad race for success. Without engines means without the jarring and irritating sounds of the engines. What does it mean? That let the work come to a stop. Let us not be caught in that forward progressive movement. So let us not only think of working and gaining wealth. Okay, engines means what? Factories. And what will happen? Factories people will work there, and once they are again caught in that mad race of working non-stop in order to amass wealth, again that cutthroat competition will begin. So the poet is saying that let's put a full stop for just once to all this. Without rush, without engines, no work, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. The poet says that because everyone will fall silent, all of a sudden, it will be something very strange. Strange over here, strangeness refers to the unique and harmonious relationship, children. The unique, the special, the harmonious relationship that humanity will bind itself into. The sudden strangeness will be a harmonious relation ship in which humanity will bind itself into. Okay. So he asks and makes an appeal to the people that let us all fall silent. And yes, indeed, this would be a little strange because this has never happened. And this will happen for the very first time. It will be something unique, something special, but it will harmoniously bind the entire humanity. Okay, stanza 3 now, children. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hand. Children, there are a number of poetic devices also used here. I am sure you must have come to know the poetic devices in sudden strangeness. Okay, in the first two lines, now we will count to 12. The metaphor of the clock has been used here. Okay, so the poetic devices, I will come to it at the end of the poem. First, let's just enjoy the poem. Fishermen in the cold sea. Children, fishermen over here is symbolic of all those men who annihilate wildlife. Annihilate means lead to the reason for their extinction or kill. So fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. If I see the literal meaning, it means that all those men, because we are not caught in that mad rat race, people will not go to the sea to catch the fish. As a result, the whales will not be harmed. Okay, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Okay, salt gatherer over here, he would stop in the moment of quiet to look at and think about the pain he has caused to his hands due to his strenuous task. Now the poet says that the man, this very fisherman who goes to the sea every day in order to catch the fish, will for once look at his hands. Now we know, children, that the sea water is salty. Salt corrodes the skin. Now the fisherman who is not engaged in his work of catching the fish will get time for himself, and he will also get a chance to look at his hands that he has damaged so much by exposing it to the salty water of the sea. He would look at his hurt hands. So hurt hands over here means the hands that have got corroded due to salt. Now this is the literal meaning, children, I am giving you. Now what is the symbolic meaning? Fishermen over here represent the rich and the powerful in the society, children, and the whales over here refer to the weak and the vulnerable in the society. The poet is saying that when there will be no discrimination and we will all fall silent and we all will be united together in silence while introspecting, the poet says that there will be no class such as the upper or the lower class. There will be no difference such as the rich and the powerful in the society and the working class or the proletariats, the working class. There will be no difference. All will be in sync. All will be at par with each other. The rich and the powerful will be considerate towards the weak and the vulnerable in the society. So fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, not harm the weak and the vulnerable. They will be considerate towards the needs and the feelings of the vulnerable and the weak in the society. Now cold sea, children, cold over here refers to devoid of any feelings of warmth and consideration. So the rich and the powerful again will be considerate. They will think about the privileges, they will think about giving the rights, they will think about the needs and the aspirations of the weak and the vulnerable in the society. And the man who has inflicted so much harm on himself by only and only working will get a little time to ponder upon the questions that this is what I have done to myself. This is how I have hurt myself. This is how I have made myself isolated. And this is leading me to depression. So hurt hands over here refers to, children, the harm that one has caused to oneself. Okay, the harm that we have caused to ourselves by only and only engaging in work and more work. Why? Because we have only one intention, to amass wealth. We don't have any quality time for ourselves, neither for our loved ones. So this is the harm that we have inflicted on ourselves by cutting ourselves from the society and by becoming isolated and sinking into depression. Okay. Now, during the exotic moment of quiet, people will reflect and realize the harm they are causing both to the environment and to themselves. So here, children, the literal meaning and the symbolic or metaphorical meaning is coming to play. So during that magnificent or fascinating or exotic moment, people will ponder or realize the harm they are causing both to the environment and to themselves. However, this realization and consciousness will only come after we fall silent. We don't have to occupy ourselves, our mind, with any other work, but we have to introspect. We have to question ourselves. We have to question the authenticity of our actions. I told you yesterday in the introduction that whether my action was a reason to bring a smile on someone's face or has it hurt someone. Okay, then the fisherman, the rich and the powerful, will question themselves that my action, is it hurting somebody who is weak in the society, or have I done something to make him happy, to make him feel uplifted. Okay. So children, I am ending the explanation here. The rest of it I'll take up in the next video class. Whatever meaning I have given you, please write it down. Very important poem and a very suitable poem. It's the need of the hour, children. Introspection is indeed the need of the hour. Okay, so I shall end today's video lesson here. Thank you, class.